If you're new to lead guitar, then you know you need to practice your scales. However, this can get a little boring at times. So today we're going to take 3 great songs and turn them into exercises to practice our E minor pentatonic scale. Let's get started. The first skill I like to teach students who are just getting started with lead guitar is the E minor pentatonic scale in the open position. But practicing scale patterns up and down the neck can get boring really fast. And that's where I see students lose motivation. There is a disconnect between the scale and making music. So today we're going to take 3 songs: Break On Through by The Doors, The Rumble by Wray and His Raymond, and Smokestack Lightning by Howling Wolf. And you're going to get 2 things out of this. You're going to learn 3 songs, and that's great. You're a musician, you should know songs. Second, you're going to practice one scale in 3 different ways. It's fun, it's musical, and it's effective. Let's go. The first song we're going to take a look at is Break On Through by The Doors. We're really just interested in the second half of the riff, but let's take a listen. Now this is the part that ascends the scale. You'll notice that there are a couple of notes in the scale that don't belong. These are called passing tones. And the name of it is pretty self-explanatory. You're going from one note in the scale to the next, but with a passing tone in between. So to get from here to here, you go through that middle note. And it happens twice. Now, depending on the level you're at, you could pick the whole thing, or you could do that hammer on and pull off on the 3rd string 2nd fret. It doesn't really matter right now. If you want to play it exactly as it's played in the song, it uses a hammer on and pull off. But you can just practice the ascending lick to get some mileage under you for your scale. This is also a great exercise for your picking. You want to alternate pick this whole thing, meaning you're going to do a downstroke and an upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. You never want to do 2 of the same strokes back to back. For example, you don't want to do 2 downstrokes in a row. You don't want to do 2 upstrokes in a row. So the whole thing would be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. The second song we're looking at is The Rumble by Wray and His Raymond. Let's take a listen. With this song, we also have a great opportunity to practice our open chords in time. So don't shy away from that. The song opens up with a D chord and an E chord. Then it does a D to A. Then we do another D to E, but after that, we'll do a D to a B7. And that's when the lead lick comes in, which is descending through the E minor pentatonic scale. It literally plays through the whole scale. It's almost like the song was made out of an exercise, with a tiny exception. When you get to the 3rd fret on the 6th string, you want to bend that note just a little bit, meaning, so you want to pull down on the string just a little bit to make that note a little spicy, and then you're going to release and play the open E. Like that. And again, the whole thing is alternate pick. This is a great way to practice in time with the song. So if you want to practice your chords and the scale, I suggest practicing along with the recording. Again, it makes it super musical, it makes it fun, and you're practicing your scale, but at the same time, you're also playing a song. So it's that in between that makes it a little more interesting. And the last song we're going to be looking at is Smokestack Lightning by Howling Wolf. Now, this riff goes in between two positions. We're kind of sliding into box 2 now. It's a very common way to switch positions in between these boxes, and it's a really classic lick. Let's take a listen. So the first two notes are on the first string. It's the open string, and then on the 3rd fret of the first string, but that note is being bent out of tune just a little bit, kind of like with the other song by Wray. So here we play the first two notes, and that second note just bent it slightly out of tune, and then we're sliding from the open position to box 2. And right back down the scale. So here we're sliding from box 1 to box 2 and right back into box 1. So you might find some common patterns here that you might want to incorporate into your own soloing. The first thing that jumps at me is, if you notice, the 1st and the 6th string are tuned to the same pitch, E. And notice that in the rumble, we bend the 6th string on the 3rd fret. In Smokestack Lightning, we bend the 1st string on the 3rd fret. So that might be something you want to incorporate in your solos. Bending that note out of tune, it's quite common and it sounds pretty cool. Most of the time, the way I do it is when I play in power chord. Like that. Another thing you might take away is how to switch positions from box 1 to box 2. And again, doing it in this very common place where you go. So that could be your new bridge to switch from box 1 to box 2. And a third takeaway could be where you resolve your lick. Notice that in the Doors song and in Smokestack Lightning, the lick kind of resolves in a similar way. On the 4th string, on the 2nd fret, usually playing the 2nd fret, open, and back on the 2nd fret. So that could be a way that you resolve your licks. Maybe something like this. Very simple, just going down the scale, but reiterating that last note just to make a point or to really show that we finished our lick. So practice the songs, play along with the recording, but really try to analyze what you're doing. So if you really like the sound of something, try to incorporate it into your solos by any means. The idea here is that we're taking vocabulary from the greats and kind of incorporating it into our own sound. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time.